Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Cozy Representative Enterprise. It's me, the Cozy Representative, back again. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Today, got a fun little MySpace exploration video for you. Yet another one. I enjoy doing these. I don't know if people like them, but I like them. There's a few more genres of MySpace / internet exploration that I want to do. Today, we're going to be doing Decadance Records artists' MySpace pages. Decadance Records. What is Decadance Records? That's a very good question. Well, back between, 2005 through, I want to say, 2009, Pete Wentz, bass player extraordinaire of the classic rock band Fall Out Boy, had the game shook. Pete Wentz was a tastemaker. He was a style creator, he was a curator, and, aside from being the bass player holding it down on the 4-string for rock band Fall Out Boy and also being kind of the creative director, lyricist, frontman extraordinaire of Fall Out Boy, he had his own record label. He had his own record label called Decaydance Records, and it was a label that was a subsidiary of Fall Out Boy's original label, Fueled by Ramen Records. And basically, Pete Wentz had the ability to just pick a band out of the ether, you know what I mean? Just hop onto purevolume.com, just pick some bands that he liked. He would sign them to his label, Decadence, and all of a sudden, these bands would blow up and become every 14-year-old in the nation's new favorite band. I don't know what Pete Wentz had going on, but like I said, he had the game absolutely shook. So Decadance Records was Pete Wentz's label.
Oh, hello. This is Pete Wentz, your friendly owner of Decadance Records. And I just wanted to... What are we doing this for again? Hey, welcome to Decadance Records. My name is Pete Wentz. This is a label that we started here. I'm going to show you. I can actually show you here. Well, a little pie chart. This is how much good music is out on record labels right now and is signed. This represents all the music that's not signed and all the artists out there who just need a chance and could be on a label and probably aren't getting a chance from another label. And you want to know what we're doing? Our plan is to go over there and get this, 99.7% of artists. No, I'm just kidding. But we created a friendly family of people and places to go. I don't know what else to say. Yo, Decadance Records is awesome. It's an alternative to a lot of other record labels that I think just churn out bands and kind of throw it against the wall and whatever sticks they work with. Whereas we get behind our artists and it's just music that we believe in, and maybe they don't all make sense together, but it's a family and everybody's stoked to be a part of it. So thanks for taking the time to check it out.
And today we're going to be looking at the MySpace pages of artists like Cobra Starship, artists like Gym Class Heroes, artists like Panic at the Disco, all these bands that Pete Wentz signed that had crazy mainstream success. Also a couple bands we're going to be talking about. The Hush Sound, going to be looking at their MySpace page, not one of the more mainstream successes of Decadence, but one of my favorite Decadence bands. We're going to do a little band called Hey Monday, who are kind of in the later days of the Fueled by Ramen Decadence Records explosion. And I got a little surprise at the end of the video. We're going to be doing a certain rapper who was signed to Decadence Records. It's kind of a fun fact that this rapper was signed to Decadence Records because he went on to do a bunch of other stuff with like Lil Wayne, and I'm pretty sure this guy tries to bury the fact that he was even in any way affiliated with Pete Wentz and Fall Out Boy and Decadence Records now, looking back, but I know the truth, that this dude started on Decadence. So we're going to be, I'm not going to say who it is, as an element of surprise, hopefully, for those who don't know which rapper this is, but we're going to be looking at his old MySpace page at the end of this. Before we jump in, I think this is going to be fun. But before we jump in, I want to say, as always, a huge freaking thank you to everybody who supports me on my Patreon. Big thank you to you guys. You all are the real MVPs. If you are interested in supporting this channel further, if you like what I'm doing on here, and you want some bonus content on a weekly basis, that's right, I'm putting up weekly videos on there now. If you want me to do a video review of your band, I do one of those at the end of every month. Or if you just want to support this channel a little bit further, you know, it would mean a lot. But if not, no biggie. Totally cool. Just throwing it out there. And once again, a big thank you to everyone who supports me on there. Anyways, onwards to some Decadance Records MySpace exploration. Let's freaking go. Yeah. I don't know what that noise was. Let's go. All right. Hello. So here we are. So the first one that I pulled up is one of the earliest of Fall Out Boy's, one of the earliest entries of Fall Out Boy's MySpace page, as it were. As you can see, the date on this one is July 17th of 2004. So pretty OG. As you can see in their header here, in this little subtext, it says, my heart will always be the B-side to my tongue. So that 2004 little acoustic EP/DVD that they put out was their most recent release at this point. And that little EP was between Take This to Your Grave and Cork Tree. So this was right in 04. I love that EP, by the way. The My Heart Will Always Be the B-side to my tongue. Great fucking songs on there. Really underrated track is the second track. It's Not a Side Effect to the Cocaine. Love that song. So as you can see, they only have 17,000 profile views here, which is pretty interesting, pretty small. You know, this was kind of still in the beginning stages of Fall Out Boy and kind of in the beginning stages of MySpace, as it were. MySpace hadn't really fully reached its peak yet in 2004, you know what I mean? So, you know, 17,000, that's, you know, not a lot compared to where Fall Out Boy ended up later. I did want to tell you guys, I did download a Flash emulator to my browser, because a lot of these old websites use like Flash players and stuff, so we can see more things that we couldn't before. But unfortunately, as you can see, it doesn't work a lot of the time, because a lot of the things that these Flash players were used for, either just the file doesn't exist anymore or whatever. But some of these things that were accessible by Flash players, some of them I can see, so I'm going to be trying it on these. But this would have been the music player right here, but lost to time. So their general info here, influences, we got the Descendants, Lifetime, Green Day, Metallica, and the Beatles. Pretty cool. Sounds like Saves the Day, Lifetime, and the Descendants, you know, got that classic punk, classic kind of pre-pop punk, you know. Signed to Fueled by Ramen at the time. Notice it says Patrick Stumpf here instead of Stump. But, you know, most Fall Out Boy fans know his birth name is Patrick Stumpf, but he went by Stump later. You know, because it's kind of easier, so interesting. Yeah, and their tour dates here, they're still playing places like, you know, little venues like Chain Reaction and Slim's and the Boardwalk, which are, you know, the House of Bricks, pretty small venues, you know, comparatively to the arenas the Fall Out Boy later ended up in. Yeah, and into some dates on Warped Tour 04. One thing I wanted to highlight on their 2004 MySpace, so in the About section, all there is a little advert for the other bands on Fueled by Ramen, which is not a lot of bands at this time, as you can see. This was, you know, earlier days of Fueled by Ramen. The Academy were a very recent signee to the label. This was before Almost Here even came out. And the second band on this list, Punchline, I wanted to highlight. Punchline were a band who were kind of part of the earlier days of Fueled by Ramen, and they're one of my favorite Fueled by Ramen bands, one of my favorite lesser-known Fueled by Ramen bands. They had an album in 2004 called Action, an album in 2006 called 37 Everywhere, which are amazing records. They used to tour with Fall Out Boy around this time, and were kind of at the same level as Fall Out Boy for a moment, but then Fall Out Boy just completely blew up, and all the other Fueled by Ramen bands completely blew up, and Punchline did not. But Punchline are an amazing band, and I would recommend their 2004 album Action specifically. I would definitely recommend. So the next one, I wanted to do a couple more Fall Out Boy ones throughout the years, just to kind of show the progression, because obviously that first one was kind of primitive, kind of prehistoric. Let's see if this Flash emulator works. Nope. Hopefully it works on something, and I can show you. It's really cool when it does work, because it's like, it's usually something cool. But so anyway, this is May 8th of 2005, which I think is right around the time that From Under the Cork Tree came out. If I'm not mistaken, I think From Under the Cork Tree did come out in May of 05. Not sure of the exact date, but so as you can see, their profile views kind of exploded to 686,000. Quite a big jump from the 17,000 that it was. So they were blowing up, and MySpace itself was kind of blowing up as a website. But yeah, I got this real nice promo picture here. You know, classic 2005 Fall Out Boy shot. Pete being all dramatic and laying down, and who doesn't love these boys? You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't love these four guys? Joe, Andy, Patrick, some top quality dudes. And yeah, at this point, right, there's a message here. Hey guys, we don't get on the computer a lot, so we don't get a chance to check the messages on here too often. Our good friend Adam from Fueled by Ramen does, though. So if you've got questions, ask him. He probably knows the answer, Petey. So yeah, they weren't exactly, I mean, you know, this was before the iPhone happened. You know, the iPhone didn't come out until like 07 or 08. So, you know, they were probably, you know, in their van rolling around with flip phones, right? Not a whole lot of time to jump on a computer. So that makes sense. All right, we got some sweet banners here. The first one is to join the Fueled by... they're moving too fast. So, the Fueled by Ramen Street Team. We want you to join the Fueled by Ramen Street Team. Pretty cool. And the second banner here I really like. A nice Decadance Records freaking promo thing. A family of people and places to go. Yeah, so this was, you know, Pete's label Decaydance Records, I think started in like late 04, early 05. So yeah, we got the first Panic record on there, the first Gym Class Heroes record. This one's also moving pretty fast, but I think I saw, yeah, the first Hush Sound record, October Fall. So yeah, freaking Decadence was in full effect. They have a frequently asked questions section on here. Most of these are just formalities, but some funny ones that I found. Is Pete gay or is Pete straight? The answer to be announced. Interesting. Directly below that, can I marry any and or all members of Fall Out Boy? Yes. Please send your $20 check or money order to the following address. Add $10 extra for Andy. I like that. Andy doesn't sell himself as short as the rest of the guys, apparently. Oh, another cool thing down here. Look at these little Fall Out Boy buddy icons that you could put on your freaking AIM. Oh, those are cute. Those are so primitive, but really cute. I like that aesthetic. Buddy icons. I love a good buddy icon. All right, so the final Fall Out Boy one that I'm going to do, this one is from June 27th of 07, and as you can see by this epic header up here, Fall Out Boy was headlining the 2007 Honda Civic Tour that summer with Plus 44, The Academy Is, and this changes too, Infinity on High, Paul Wall and Cobra Starship, and Infinity on High was in stores now. Some of you may know this, I've talked about this, but I saw Fall Out Boy on this tour, as well as these other bands. It was insanely awesome. It was one of my first, it might have been the first, like, concert or whatever, first show I ever went to, so, you know, this era of Fall Out Boy specifically is very special to me. You know, they were fucking rock gods in my eyes. And this was their MySpace at the time. See, Pete Wentz, there's a giveaway where you can, I guess, win one of Pete Wentz's signature basses with the bat skull logo on there. That was his little, that was the logo actually for Decaydance Records. Yeah, and he had his own bass. You could win one. Pretty sick. As you can see now, on these tour dates, now Fall Out Boy were playing places called, like, the Coca-Cola Dome, as opposed to the Chain Reaction, that was on the 2004 one, so they were rock gods at this point. Superstars, Fall Out Boy. Wow, there's an ad to enter Fall Out Boy's Thanks for the Memories lip sync contest. Intriguing. I'll have to enter that. Hopefully I win. Wow, yeah, some cool stuff here. I love this layout. In the upper corner here, we got their discography, and then we have shirt designs, links to their music videos, and stills from all their videos. Another ad for the Honda Civic Tour. More banners to join the Fueled by Ramen Street team, and looks like a Gym Class Heroes promotional thing there. Close off, vote for it now on TRL. Fucking epic. Yeah, this is swag-halicious. There's one banner here. Fall Out Boy, send a personalized message from Pete Wentz. That grammatically doesn't make sense. Send a personalized message from... Are you sending a personalized message to Pete Wentz, or are you receiving a personalized message from Pete Wentz? That doesn't make sense to me, but... someone screwed up on that one. Obviously, Fall Out Boy had a big budget at this time, but not a big enough budget to where we understand what this banner means in its context. But whatever, we'll let it slide. Oh, and in their top friends, yeah, the number one is Decaydance Records with there's the logo, there's the bat skull. Hell yeah. Pete Wentz's dog at the time, Hemingway, is also in their top friends. If you're a fan of Fall Out Boy from back in the day, you remember Hemingway. That was Pete's dog. Very cute. He appeared in some music videos. I guess he had his own MySpace page, which is epic. Yeah, that's Fall Out Boy. Cool to see the progression there, in their MySpace pages. Obviously they grew a lot from 2004 until 2007, so pretty neat. Anyway, let's check out some other bands on Decadence, shall we? Alright, so here we got freaking Cobra Starship. You know what it is. The originators of sassy music. They really brought the sass to the Warped Tour. You know what I mean? They brought the sass to Decadence. They brought dance moves. They brought cool outfits. They brought vodka Red Bulls, synthesizers, the fangs up gang sign. I think they were the first band to have their own gang sign, 303 had one. Cobra Starship was before 303. This page is from April of 2006, and this was the OG of Cobra Starship back when it started out as just a solo project of Gabe Saporta. Like right when that first Snakes on a Plane song came out, the first record, it was just Gabe. So this is around that time. Their general info states that their band members are Johnny Depp, Dave Grohl, Ron Jeremy, and Mayor McCheese. Checks out. I like it. Their influences are Yellow Pills, Red Bull, and Grey Goose. Radiohead. Well, not really, but everyone else cites them. Gabe keeping his finger on the pulse of what's hip. Paris Hilton, Green M&Ms. Love it. And apparently they sound like if Britney Spears was gangbanged by the Strokes and we'd be the kids. Gabe Saporta was ahead of his time in many, many ways. Many more ways than just his music. His attitude, his vibe, his humor. He was light years ahead of the era he came from. Sounds like you can ride the Starship, but you can't ride for free. Ain't that right? And all we have here in the About section is Sleeping is for Suckers. Straight to the point. I like it. I like it. So the next Cobra Starship page that I found, we're fast forwarding in time about a year to June 20th of 2007. I picked out this one because, well, first let's see if the Flash emulator works or if it just... Okay, we got the music player. but it's kind of janky. Some of these are kind of janky. I'm pretty sure it probably looked better at the time. For some reason, I don't know, when it's saved on the Wayback Machine, it doesn't always look amazing. But whatever, so we got the... I think this MySpace header and layout looks awesome. So this was this was like right up before their second album, Viva La Cobra, came out. Obviously, the background here is kind of art from their first album, While the City Sleeps, We Rule the Streets. And this logo is just amazing. Kind of some Jimmy Neutron vibes going on. A little brain blast there. But yeah, real neon, real cool. Makes me want to drink a Red Bull. Let's see what we got going. Oh yeah, and like we got the font here is the font from their first album. So cool. You can get official ringtones if you text Cobra to 3313. And you can get you can get Cobra Starship text updates on your phone. Just send Cobra to 50505. Futuristic. Yeah, again, we got their music videos on the side here. Very cool. There's the album, While the City Sleeps, We Rule the Streets. Great album. Underrated album. So many hidden bangers on there. See the bio here. Who is Cobra Starship? Cobra Starship is Gabe Saporta. During a solitary spiritual retreat in the desert, Gabe was bitten by a cobra that was sent from the future to teach him how to dance and make beats. Gabe took the skills he learned and started Cobra Starship in honor of the spacecraft that transported his savior from the future. All right, we're debunking some myths and rumors here on this next FAQ question on the Cobra Starship 2007 MySpace page. Was Cobra Starship just made up for the Snakes on a Plane movie? Absolutely not. As you can see, Cobra Starship has been a MySpace member since June 23rd of 2005, setting the record straight, long before Snakes on a Plane even existed. Those of you who were early fans will remember the first song Gabe worked on to hone his skills, Holla Back Boy, a raunchy spoof of Gwen Stefani's Holla Back Girl. Not only that, but by then Gabe had already written the song Bring It, and it already contained the line, Pop the cheap champagne, we're going down in flames. Those of you who have the demo version that was leaked on ap.net can attest to that. So, when Gabe heard about Snakes on a Plane, he knew that this was the coming together of the Cobra's plan. That these were not just a string of coincidences, but rather pieces of a puzzle illuminating the path to his destiny. Or some bullshit like that. So this is Gabe defending his honor, you know what I mean? Defending the name of Cobra Starship, that it wasn't just some goofy thing that was made up for the Snakes on a Plane movie. Who are the people in the video? The world-famous classic music video for Snakes on a Plane. The other people in the Snakes on a Plane video are not in Cobra Starship. They are special guests that appear on this song. They are special guests that appear on this song only. Most of you already know, but for those who don't, William Beckett from The Academy Is sings the chorus. The guy who raps is Travis McCoy from Cobra Starship. The blonde chick is Maja Iverson. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably butchering it. I'm so sorry. From the Swedish band The Sounds. It was actually Adam Siski Business, the Academy's bass player, who first heard about Snakes on a Plane and suggested submitting their song Black Mamba for the soundtrack. That's very interesting. Then, William realized that this soundtrack would be perfect for Gabe's Cobra Starship project. Being the amazing friend that he is, William got together with Gabe and reworked Bring It to include a new chorus for him to sing on. Gabe and William also enlisted the help of their boy Travis and begged New Line to get Maja involved so they could fulfill their lifelong fantasy of meeting her. That's so beautiful. What an epic, iconic moment for the world of Decadence, the Snakes on a Plane music video. The video that broke 2006, am I right? All right, so next, we got an entry from Gym Class Heroes from October 16th of 2007. Gym Class Heroes, one of my favorite not only one of my favorite Decadence bands, but one of my favorite bands from the 2000s in general. I think they were so important, so good, and so ahead of their time musically. Like, they were doing, you know, if you go back to their 2004, I think, or 2005 record, the Paper Cut Chronicles, which was before, you know, the Take a Look at My Girlfriend song and before any big major label success, which those songs are good too, and those records are good too, but 2004's The Paper Cut Chronicles was really the first time emo rap, like true emo rap, was ever made, if you ask me. Like, it's like really cool, rootsy, kind of live band hip-hop stuff, which is also, but it's also like emo, because it's, you know, the guitar leads are very noodly and kind of reminiscent of like 90s emo stuff, like Sunny Day Real Estate, or you know, it's kind of twinkly, and then Travi's like just an amazing lyricist on that record, and rapping all about depression and you know, the dark sides of drug use and girls and all this stuff. The Paper Cut Chronicles is really supremely ahead of its time. So anyways, here's their MySpace page from 07. Let's see if it looks kind of janky. Let's see if any of these Flash emulators work. Maybe, no. Okay, the music player, kind of, yeah, whatever. But here's their logo. As Cruel as School Children was the album that they were promoting at the time in stores everywhere. That's the album after the Paper Cut Chronicles. Also an amazing album, that one. You could vote for them for the MTV Woody of the Year, the Woody Awards. Those were epic back in the day. 07 Woody. More ringtones. Ringtones were a big thing. Get the ringtone for Close Off now. Text CLOSE to 33133. A sun-kissed ad banner, because why the fuck not? Yeah, okay, and at the time they were on the Young Wild Things tour in fall of 07, opening for Fall Out Boy alongside Plain White Tees and Cute Is What We Aim For. Another tour package that I was grateful enough to go see back in the day. It was a great show. Very cool tour poster. I've always loved this tour flyer art. All the art direction was so fucking cool at the time. Yeah, Gym Class Heroes. I can't recommend Gym Class Heroes enough. One of those bands where they, like, you know, have like huge gigantic radio hits, and they're kind of like a household name, but they're also super underrated at the same time because they're full-length records. Most people don't really know them. So yeah, these two albums specifically, Paper Cut Chronicles and As Cruel as School Children, the full-length records of those are incredible. All right, next up, y'all know what time it is. We got the legendary Panic at the Disco. This is the earliest logging of their MySpace page that I could find, February 05. So they were still a very, very new band. You know, this was before A Fever You Can't Sweat Out came out. This might have been before. This was right around the time when, like, Pete Wentz was discovering them on Pure Volume or LiveJournal or whatever the fuck. 2,000 profile views only. Very OG. The subtext here, what would Jesus not do? A very good question. A very, that's definitely a Ryan Ross-ism, I would say. Yeah, and pretty simple MySpace here. Blog posts, new news website recording, new Time to Dance, the record, you know, so they were just getting their start. Brendan, Spencer, Ryan, Brent, you know, OG. I think I actually, threw this specific logging of their MySpace into my video about Panic at the Disco's first record, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, because I remember this in their About section. Panic at the Disco started in spring of 2004. We are looking to get a full-time keyboard player for sequencing and synth. Contact us. Interesting. So they were looking for a keyboard player at the time. Obviously, that didn't exactly happen. You know, they definitely had like a keyboard player live early on, but no one actually joined the band as keyboard player. Now let's travel a little bit further into the future. to April of 2006. So at this point, Fever You Can't Sweat Out had been released for a few months, and their profile views are now bumped up to 5 million, approaching 6 million. So, they were they were popping. They got big really quickly. Panic at the Disco. Y'all know the story. Here's a cool old picture of them. Ryan's got that little hat on that he used to always wear, that little like kind of old school Patrick Stump hat. They're wearing their suits. Classic. One cool thing on this MySpace page, visit the Panic at the Disco web store. So not all of these photos load, because, it's kind of janky. Some of these files are lost to time. But look at these old school Panic at the Disco shirt designs. I love these. These are probably some of their first, shirts, some of their earliest merch here. I like these a lot. Very fucking cool. And again, some Panic at the Disco buddy icons. I love these buddy icons. Instead of the Fall Out Boy ones, where the Fall Out Boy ones were all their faces, we just got the album art, different variations of album art from A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. These are very cool. Love the old buddy icons. All right, so next up, I want to do, as you can see, this is another one of my favorite bands on the Decadence roster. Much like Gym Class Heroes, a very, very underrated band, and probably one of the bands that has aged the best, maybe, out of the Decadence Records roster. A band that, maybe even sounds better to me now as an adult than it did when I was, a kid, you know what I mean? Their music was very, mature, kind of indie pop. I did a video about this band, The Hush Sound. A band that, when I listen to them now as an adult, it's not, a nostalgia thing. It's, I discover more from their music now, and I get more from it now as an adult than I did as a kid. As a kid, they were a little bit over my head because, they were kind of folky, kind of, they're a very mature band, but very, very fucking amazing band. All three of their albums are so good. And this is an early logging of their MySpace from February 06. So this is only, I think, when their first record, their first record, So Sudden, which is an incredible album. The one album that they had out at this point. They had two other albums later, but yeah, so a very early little picture there. They're looking good. Greta was in the band. Greta is just fucking amazing. Shout out to Greta Salpeter from the Hush Sound. And yeah, I think so. These tour dates, despite them being a very new band and only having one record, as you can see, they were playing the Family Arena and the Cumberland Company Civic Center and the Pepsi Arena. So one of the first tours they went on, Pete Wentz really believed in them, and he brought them on the Fall Out Boy Black Clouds and Underdogs tour, which was the big arena headlining tour that Fall Out Boy went on in support of From Under the Cork Tree. And I think the All-American Rejects were on that tour, who were blowing up at the time. I think Hawthorne Heights and From First to Last, if I'm remembering correctly. And he just was like, hey, Hush Sound, y'all are a tiny baby band, but come on this tour and fucking open for us in arenas. So that's pretty fucking cool. That must have been freaky for them. We have a cool little graphic here, a cute little The Hush Sound So Sudden. I love that, man. Decadence and Fueled by Ramen. Nice little picture of them looking hella young. Love it. Oh, look at these rinky-dink little buddy icons. Aw, that's so fucking cute. In stores now. Let's see. Oh, look at the little pictures of them. Little babies they were. Oh my god. So we're winding down here. I got only a couple more MySpace pages I want to look at. This one that is loading right now is a band from the later era of Decadence. This is from September of 2008, and they were kind of a new band and a new signee to Decadence at the time. And not only were they on Decadence, but they were also on Columbia Records, kind of a joint deal between Decadence and major label Columbia. They got their thing happening real quick. Hey Monday, who were kind of I feel like they kind of sounded a lot like All Time Low a little bit. They were way more on the, like, you know, sunny day, happy, kind of energetic bubblegum pop rock kind of thing. You know, that, like, their first record, I felt like, you know, was very kind of like that all-time low blend of neon that was getting very popular around '08, but you know, their record was very, very good. I always thought this band was very, like, wholesome and sweet and fun. They were very short-lived too. This was their only full length, and I think they had an EP that they did a couple years after this full length, and then they broke up. They weren't a band for very long, but they definitely made an impact at the time. And here's their MySpace page. So yeah, record label is Columbia and Decadence. So I don't think they were even on Fueled by Ramen, even though Decadence was a subsidiary of Fueled by Ramen. They were only on Decadence with Columbia as well. And here on Hey Monday's page, we have some promotional banners for a tour, another tour that I went to back in the day, the Bill and Trav's Bogus Journey Tour, which was a co-headliner with the Academy Is and We the Kings, and openers Carolina Liar and Hey Monday. Very fucking cool. And here we got, click here to join the Hey Monday street team. Very legit. All right, y'all. So the last segment of this video that I'm going to be doing, this is a log from September '08. So around the same time as Hey Monday. And this is kind of, yeah, sort of what I consider the later era of Decadence. This is the rapper that I was talking about earlier that got signed to Decaydance Records, and this guy got his start on Decadence with Pete Wentz and Travie McCoy. People used to, well, they had this whole thing where they said that this guy was Travie McCoy's cousin, which I actually found out very recently that was not true. This guy is not Travie McCoy's cousin at all. But that was part of, like, the promo for this guy, you know, so that people would pay attention to him. They said he was Travie's cousin. That was part of the promo campaign. But turns out that's not true. And this rapper, believe it or not, Tyga. Yeah, that's right, Tyga. Way before the days of Rack City, and, you know, he went on to, you know, later being signed to Lil Wayne's record label. Back in '08, he was, I believe we would kind of call what he was doing at first ringtone rap, maybe, kind of similar to, like, Soulja Boy and, you know, people like, I don't know, who is that guy, Sean Kingston. You know, Tyga was doing that sort of deal on Decaydance Records and Bat Squad. Bat Squad, I think, was maybe like a record label that Travie McCoy had, or that Travie was, like, trying to start. You know, he had Travie's cosign and Pete Wentz's cosign, and yeah, he had a record called No Introduction. There was a song called Coconut Juice, which I actually really like that song. And there was another song called Aim, which was very, like, kind of Soulja Boy-esque. Yeah, here's his page. It's a little janky looking. There's a link to, I guess, a song he had called Diamond Life. And the link is on the Friends or Enemies website, which I think that was Pete Wentz's stab at, like, a social media kind of website at the time, Friends or Enemies. If y'all were around during this time, y'all remember Friends or Enemies. Here's a link to create your own Tyga ringtones. I mean, how cool is that? We got the Decadence logo here, and underneath that, there's a number that you could call, and you can talk to Tyga. I doubt you could actually talk to the actual Tyga by calling that. I'm sure if you called it, it would just be a recording that he made being like, hey, this is Tyga. But maybe there's a split second, you call and you're kind of nervous, and you're like, oh my god, I'm about to talk to Tyga. And then you hear his voice, and you're like, oh my god, is it Tyga? And then you realize it's just a recording. But again, ringtones, huge at the time. Text Tyga to 8907. And you can get Tyga ringtones. I love that little picture of him on the phone there. Let's see, what's this? Click to join the Tyga team to support Tyga. And yeah, that's pretty much his page. Yeah, that's a cool little Decadence fun fact, is that freaking Tyga got his start, you know, his first album, No Introduction, was on Decaydance Records. You know, if you look up the video for his song Coconut Juice, or if you even just look up the video for Coconut Juice, which was his single, Pete Wentz and Travie McCoy are in it. They play parts. They're hanging out with Tyga. You know, he was their little protege at the time. And like I said, you know, there was this thing where they tried to say that Tyga was Travie McCoy's cousin, which he wasn't. Which I believed that Tyga was Travie McCoy's cousin for years, for like 15 years. I was like, oh yeah, Tyga, Travie McCoy's cousin. I didn't find out until like very recently that was all bullshit, which kind of makes me feel like I'm living in some, you know, simulation Mandela effect world where nothing is real. Because I'm like, really, y'all had me believing that they were cousins for like 15 fucking years, but okay. Thanks, Travie. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Tyga doesn't, you know, this album, No Introduction, it's not on Spotify. It's not on Tyga's Spotify. I don't think Tyga, you know, Tyga, I don't know a whole lot about Tyga, but from what I do know, I think he, you know, is all, the narrative that he tries to push is that, oh yeah, Lil Wayne, you know, found me, and I came up with Lil Wayne, and he put me into the game. And I'm like, no, motherfucker. Pete Wentz and Travie McCoy put you in the game. They put you on Decaydance Records, and y'all were, you know, and you were a fucking protege of Pete and Travie on Decadence. So there you have it. And here's his MySpace page. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video. This has been your man, the Cozy Representative. As always, doing some old internet deep dives because it's fun, because, you know, why not? Having fun doing what I do, looking back on some old goofy MySpace pages, you know, peeling back the onion on the histories of all these bands that I grew up with and that we all know and love, and looking back, you know, I do these videos for the culture, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's important to have some sort of like historical document of like what was actually going down on MySpace at the time and what this shit actually looked like. It's, you know, it's really fascinating to me, and, you know, I do this shit anyway in my spare time. This is what I do for fun, go on the Wayback Machine and look at old websites, so I figure, you know, why not make these videos and show y'all what I find, because it's pretty funny and interesting to me, at least. I don't know. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe if you haven't, if you like what I'm doing. Hope y'all have an amazing day. Hope everyone's doing well out there. And yeah, check out No Introduction by Tyga. Give Coconut Juice a spin. It's a good song, I'm telling you. And with that, have a good night, y'all. Peace out. Cozy out. Till next time. Cozy Representative. Goodbye.